Sellers in New York City often ask if the buyer agent commission rate is permanently fixed at the time of listing or if it can be adjusted over time. For example, if you originally offer 2% to a buyer's agent, can you increase that to 2.5% or 3% later on as a means of raising the amount of traffic your listing receives? We'll answer this topic in the following video. I'm Nick at Houseit, based here in New York City. Check out our website, houseit.com, to learn how to save money if you're buying or selling real estate here in New York. So let's get started. Choosing the correct buyer agent commission is a very important decision. How much you choose to offer has major ramifications on the amount of traffic your listing receives in New York City. This is because the vast majority of purchasers in New York are represented by buyer's agents. In fact, over 75% of buyers are still represented by buyer's brokers here in New York City, despite the prevalence of consumer-facing online search portals, such as StreetEasy. As a result, offering an uncompetitive buyer agent commission can be a fatal mistake when it comes to the likelihood of selling for the highest price or selling at all. In essence, offering an unreasonably low buyer agent commission can wipe out up to 75% of the potential pool of buyers for a listing. Now, sellers who are looking to minimize closing costs often look to the buyer agent commission as an easy target for reducing closing costs. For example, it's increasingly common to see 2.5% for the buyer agent commission as opposed to the more traditional gold standard of 3%. While offering 2.5% generally won't have an adverse impact on represented buyer demand, many sellers often flirt with the idea of starting with something a lot lower, such as 2%, with the idea of raising it later on if represented buyer traffic is underwhelming. This leads us back to our original question. Is changing the buyer agent commission in New York City allowed? Technically, the answer is yes. The buyer agent commission can be increased after you've already listed, but is it actually an effective strategy? Well, the answer is probably not. Changing the buyer agent commission after listing is ineffective because listings typically receive the highest amount of traffic during the first few weeks on the market. This means that the potential audience is inherently much smaller by the time you finally decide to change the commission rate. Many sellers assume that any demand problems caused by starting with a low commission rate can be completely cured by simply raising the commission rate later on if necessary. But this completely ignores the fact that listing traffic and momentum falls precipitously over time. In short, starting with too low of a buyer's agent commission can have irreversible and disastrous effects on a sale effort, which cannot be fully cured by raising the commission at a later date. Another reason why changing the buyer agent commission after listing is ineffective is because there's no way to recover the buyer's agents who may have originally viewed the listing and dismissed it due to the low commission rate you were originally offering. Many of these agents have already made a mental note to ignore your listing going forward on the basis of that initial low commission rate. This means they're highly unlikely to check the commission rate on your listing ever again. In short, they'll never know you decided to increase the commission rate. Moreover, there's no way for you to contact these agents directly to advertise the higher commission rate. After all, they never contacted you, so you have no means of identifying them and alerting them of the higher commission rate you're now offering. Obviously, you can notify the buyer's agents who've previously contacted you of that higher commission rate being offered. But since these agents already reached out, presumably it means they're okay with the original commission rate that you offered. So it would seem that announcing the higher commission rate to these brokers is rather ineffective and simply a waste of money. In conclusion, raising the buyer agent commission later on will have a fraction of the impact on represented buyer traffic compared to starting with a higher commission rate from day one. Prior to listing your home for sale, we recommend researching the buyer agent commission rates being offered on similar properties. While consumers generally don't have access to RLS commission data, you can always ask the listing agents you're interviewing for data and insight on buyer agent commission rates. This information will help you determine the appropriate buyer agent commission rate to offer on your own listing. For example, let's say there are 6 competing listings for sale. 5 of them are offering 2.5%, while just one listing is offering 3%. In this scenario, offering 2.5% is probably the right decision. That being said, you could offer 3% if you're particularly motivated to sell, in a rush, if you want to be sure that your listing receives the maximum amount of attention from representing buyers. Using this same example, let's say you decide to offer 2%. This means that your listing offers the lowest compensation out of every other listing. Therefore, you can't expect any rational buyer's agent to advocate for all other listings prior to pitching your property to her or his client. To make matters worse, some buyer's agents might simply refuse to show your listing altogether as a result of the unacceptably low commission being offered. By the time you realize that the commission is too low, it's effectively too late to adjust it for the reasons we've previously mentioned. Most buyer's agents will have already written off your listing for good, which means that the only benefit of raising the commission is effectively to market to new buyer's agents who might just have started working with a prospective purchaser of your home. To reiterate, starting with the correct buyer's agent commission is a crucial determinant of your chances of selling for the highest price or selling at all. The mistake of initially offering too low of a buyer's agent commission can never be fully rectified, as raising the commission rate later on will never be able to recover the buyer's agents who've permanently dismissed your listing on the basis of the low commission rate you were originally offering. Moreover, listings receive the highest amount of traffic and inquiries during the first few weeks of a sale effort. Raising the commission later on will give your listing a fraction of the benefit of having started with a more competitive commission rate upfront during the first few weeks when momentum and interest levels are at their absolute peak. Now let's answer one final question. Is a seller allowed to reduce the buyer agent commission? Generally speaking, this is strongly discouraged and usually outright prohibited by listing agents. This is because there is no way to determine whether a buyer's agent who inquired on a listing originally accessed your listing in the database at the time of the original higher commission rate or after it was lowered. Moreover, the buyer's agents who've already shown the unit to their clients on the basis of that original commission rate certainly will not accept the lower commission percentage. So there you have it. We hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please like, subscribe, and leave us a comment. We greatly appreciate it. I'm Nick at Houseit, based here in New York City, and we'll see you on the next video.